Something else Ze Frank could be talking about, guys, that I touched upon a little bit, should have mentioned in the last video. So in the pigeon video dating,
I wanted to understand courtship better.
He's showing a clip from the pigeon video. First of all, it's showing mirrors, and I've already talked in the past about the mirrored veil. That's what I call it's this sort of veil or this wall or this barrier between the physical world, what we see, and this intangible world that's sort of laid over top of it. That barrier between the two worlds, I refer to it as the mirrored veil, because there are a lot of, it's often symbolized with either a veil or a mirror, sometimes a black mirror. In fact, the Aztecs used obsidian mirrors to commune with the other side, spirits or what have you on the other side, and to try to, know the future, just know things. So mirrors are an important symbol to be aware of. And again, remember that the pigeon also is a symbol for the Holy Spirit. So I wanted to show you guys that quickly. And I sort of touched upon this in this video. In The Good Son, Gang Stalkers, Ze Frank, and I believe it was A Psychopath Pseudo Philosophy. So in this one here, I touch upon how the ego is related to the soul, and I'll show you a visual image sort of relaying that idea. There it is. So here are a few images pulling it up. The spirit is supposed to be sort of this spirit of life. It's supposed to represent God. It's supposed to be within us. The soul is supposed to represent our individual mind, emotions, our will. And again, it can be, you could say that it might be related to the ego. The fear responses we have, so on and so forth. And then you have the body. So they're breaking it down into soul, spirit, and body. And the soul seems to be this sort of go-between between the body and the spirit. I'll show you. Here's another representation. So you can see the heart sort of is connecting the soul and the spirit. And to, as far as I can tell, to sell your soul to the devil would be sort of tantamount to letting the devil take over your heart. It's about whether, and also make note of the spirit is being represented more in the gut area, right? And the body is considered to be more up in the mind, or the brain, logic, so on and so forth. So that could be what Ze is talking about when he says the science hippies. And so it's a matter of which way do you let your heart go, which way do you let your soul go. So selling your soul to the devil, considering if you equate the devil with Lucifer, and Lucifer is the bearer of the light, not the light, but the bearer of the light. That would mean the material flesh that holds the light, which is supposed to be spirit. Right? So Lucifer would be the material, like the Lord of the flesh in the material realm. The body, Lord of the body, high logic, high intellect, but maybe not wisdom, maybe not, my cats are play fighting. It could be high intellect without compassion and conscience and empathy, though. I've seen that. So it would suggest that selling your soul, one thing you could think of it is getting rid of, like, selling your soul could possibly mean trying to remove ego. But I already got into that in the video I just mentioned, with the good son and so on and so forth, about how from what I've seen from my perspective, it looks like ego to some degree can be a good thing, because it means that you take responsibility for the consequences of your actions, for the things that you do. No ego whatsoever, and I guess it seems like you're just offering everything you do up to God and saying, like, no, it's God's fault. God did it. God had me do it. Again, if you want to tell me otherwise. So, swinging back around, sorry it's late, I just got done a 3-hour class, and my mind is not feeling super sharp right now. But swinging back around to this pigeon video.
They wanted to understand courtship better and set up a whole video dating scenario.
So maybe two Holy Spirits, two spirits, individual spirits coming from the same source, trying to reconnect, but the brain, the mind, the logic part, the body, Lucifer getting in the way. So it could also be selling your soul to the devil, could be having your heart aligned with just like high intellect, sheer logic, with worldly pleasures of the flesh, being only concerned with material goods, power over others, so on and so forth. But again, I have to argue with that. I keep saying the meaning of life is to live a meaningful life, and the most meaningful life there is family, parenthood, raising children properly. That requires some material goods, like kids need food and clothing and shit. Like you need a stable, routine environment for children to do well. So anyway, so much for the high intellect. It reminds me of the story of Kali Ma a little bit, and her husband, who, he just wanted to meditate. She was deprived of the offering she was owed for her birthday or something like that, and she went to her husband, I believe it was Shiva, and was like, hey, they're not giving me the offerings that I'm owed. It's my birthday, or it's my day. Like, I deserve to be recognized. Basically, she represents this whole other aspect of human life, where it's like, or life at all, any kind of life, that needs to be recognized and respected. And her husband is just like, let it go. I'm busy meditating. He was all high intellect, he was busy meditating. And she lost her shit. She transformed into Kali Ma, the dark one. She had blood dripping from her fangs, and she killed her husband, basically, because she was like, you are not respecting me. You're not making sure that others respect me too. Like, this is your job, one of your jobs as my partner and my husband. So, I'd have your back if, they weren't respecting you on your day, dude. But I believe she brought him back to life or something. She felt bad about it, because she's a lady, and she brought him back to life. Something along those lines. I have to reread the story of Kali Ma. Again, my brain is just going for the night, but I wanted to get the basics of this out. I will probably try to come up with a video that's a little less wordy and a bit more concise and to the point, with the same basic ideas. So let's play a little bit.
And it worked. The pigeons saw each other on the screen and started doing, the moves.
pigeons saw each other on the screen and started doing the moves. The Holy Spirits, I guess, saw each other on the screen, saw each other over the videos or something. Started doing the moves.
But then the science hippies put a delay in the feed.
The science hippies being the brain, being the high intellect, without the wisdom, without the, the compassion, the empathy. So the male essence without female essence, not respecting female essence. It's what it seems to be. Maybe I'm totally misinterpreting it.
Like, what's your name? And she says nothing. He says, do you come here often? Nancy. And he's like, oh, is Nancy a name? And she's like, no, it's my first time. And the whole thing...
So the material world getting in the way of the Holy Spirits coming back together.
It's screwed up, but now they know that there's some back and forth going on. And you might be thinking, well, what are they looking for? What makes a bird attractive?
What are they looking for? What makes a bird attractive? What makes a Holy Spirit attractive? What makes a soul attractive? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to get this out there again. More reasons why the videos are just not working. Because I'm working. I have actual real work I have to do. I'm tired. I have other worries, dude. And again, I think you just have me chasing my tail. What the fuck does this have to do with you having sex with little kids? Huh? I mean, whatever, maybe it's your belief system, but I still don't see, again, whatever you're showing me here, I don't give a shit. I don't see how this is an excuse for incest with children, or how this is denying my accusations of you. Or even how it's I could more readily see how you're trying to just excuse how this is you trying to support your position, which is I think your position is that you're in support of incest, because again, I think that you Kabbalistic devil worshippers, whatever, Frankist devil worshippers are into incest, and you're the aristocracy at this point in America and probably a few other countries, and established yourselves as such. And what did John Updike say? Incest is the sexual sin of the aristocracy, right? Right. So you're trying to embody gods, and the gods on some level, depending on how sick you are looking at it, the gods committed incest because they all came from one, right? If you're a monotheist, it started with one, split itself into two, made many beneath them. And so in order to make many beneath them, they sort of had to copulate, I suppose, if that's how you want to look at it. So again, is this just you giving me your argument for why you're pro-incest, dude? Trying to figure it out. I don't see how this matters, how the soul and the spirit and all of that function when we're talking about child rape, right? We're talking about child rape in the human world. We're not in the other world right now. We're in human world. We're in flesh world. We're in the United States of America, where there are laws against such things, right? And for good reason. So, can we grow up? Can we grow up and take this seriously, little boy? I'm so sick to the teeth of this nonsense. But just to give you guys another perspective on another thing he might be saying, another, philosophy he might be throwing out there with his freaking video here. I'm just so sick to the teeth of this nonsense. One way or the other, I should be getting a straight answer from you. And what's even sicker is, if he is innocent, he plays as a nice guy. Again, let's have a look at this dude. He tries to come off like he's a nice guy in his videos. He practically has a whole fan club, followers who think he's so amazing and such a wonderful guy. I read a comment at one point by someone on one of his videos saying that if he started a cult, they would join it. That's how much people love this douche. Well, this douche, if he is innocent, again, he knows by now. He has heard of me by now. He's heard of the chick who has dedicated a solid 2 to 3 years to trying to expose him for incest and child rape, right? So if he's such a good guy, then he wouldn't, and he's innocent, then he would not want me throwing away my life trying to make this case against him, and he would be taking steps to try and I don't know, prove to me that I'm wrong. And he would do it in a very clear manner and concise manner, easy to understand manner. He wouldn't be playing games and using riddles, would he, guys? So, and he knows, again, he knows about me. He's not behaving like an innocent person. This is how guilty people behave. They use tricks and riddles. So, yeah, I'll leave it there. I'm tired. I'm gonna get ready for bed soon. But I don't care. I don't care what you're telling me about the soul, the spirit, or whatever, unless does it have something to do with my accusations against you? Is it a denial? Is it a confirmation? What are you doing? Yeah, I don't know anymore. Good night.